prayer for when I need calm and direction. Lord, in this moment I choose to pause. The world keeps moving. Responsibilities continue. Outside voices do not stop. But I decide to be still here. I take a deep breath, and I allow the silence to remind me that not everything depends on me. There are thoughts that feel heavy. There are decisions that unsettle me. There are situations I do not fully understand. Sometimes I try to appear strong, but inside I feel tired. You know what no one else sees. You know my inner struggles. You know my silent doubts. You know the effort I make every day. Teach me not to live rushed. Teach me not to react from fear. Teach me not to make decisions from anxiety. Help me learn to walk calmly, even when everything around me feels restless. If something needs to change in me, show it to me clearly. If something needs to end, give me peace to accept it. If something new begins, give me courage to start it. Do not let comparison steal my peace. Do not let pressure make me forget who I am. Do not let fear direct my steps. Remind me that slow processes still build, that silent seasons still shape character, that waiting times still have purpose. When doubt appears, steady my mind. When exhaustion reaches me, renew my strength. When fear whispers limits, speak to me about possibilities. Bring order where there is confusion. Bring calm where there is restlessness. Bring clarity where there is uncertainty. Do not let my mind run faster than your guidance. Do not let my heart fill with assumptions. Do not let my thoughts build negative scenarios. Today I choose to release control. I choose to trust even when I do not see clearly. I choose to rest even while questions remain. I do not need to have every answer. I do not need to understand every process. I only need to keep my trust firm. If I stumble, help me rise without guilt. If I fail, help me learn without condemning myself. If I doubt, help me believe again. Let your peace be stronger than my thoughts. Let your direction be clearer than my emotions. Let your presence feel more real than my fears. Help me move forward without rushing, yet without stopping. Help me walk without anxiety, but with determination. Thank you for sustaining me even when I do not notice. Thank you for guiding me even when I do not perceive it. Thank you for working in silence while I learn to trust. Let this peace remain. Let this faith grow. Let this clarity stay with me. And when tomorrow becomes fast again, remind me that I can pause, that I can breathe, that I can trust. I am not alone. I have never been. Amen.
This prayer is more than a collection of words. It is a conscious decision. A decision to slow down in a world that glorifies speed. A decision to breathe in a culture that rewards constant movement. A decision to trust when everything inside us wants immediate answers. So often, we believe peace will come when circumstances change, when problems are solved, when doors open, when clarity appears. But this prayer reminds us of something deeper. Peace does not begin around us. It begins within us. It begins the moment we stop trying to control everything. There is a quiet strength in surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of trust. When we release control, we are not abandoning responsibility. We are acknowledging that we are human, limited, learning, growing. And that realization is not weakness. It is wisdom. Anxiety often grows from the illusion that we must manage every outcome. That if we think hard enough, plan carefully enough, or worry long enough, we can secure the future. But worry has never created certainty. It only steals the present. This prayer gently teaches us that we are allowed to pause, allowed to breathe, allowed to admit that we do not have all the answers. And in that honesty, there is freedom.
Freedom from comparison.
Freedom from unrealistic expectations.
Freedom from the pressure to appear strong all the time.
We live in a time where strength is often defined as independence, as self-sufficiency, as never needing help. But true strength can also look like stillness, like humility, like quiet trust. It takes courage to stop running. It takes courage to face silence. It takes courage to admit fear and still move forward. This prayer invites us into that courage. It reminds us that slow seasons are not wasted seasons, that growth is often invisible, that roots develop underground long before fruit appears above. Waiting is not inactivity. Waiting can be preparation. Silence is not absence. Silence can be formation. Sometimes the most important transformations happen quietly, without applause, without recognition, without immediate results. And that does not make them insignificant. It makes them sacred. Another powerful truth within this prayer is the release of comparison. Comparison quietly drains joy. It distorts perspective. It convinces us that we are behind, that we are not enough, that we are missing something. But every journey has its own pace. Every life has its own rhythm. Every process has its own timing. We are not late, we are not forgotten, we are not overlooked, we are becoming. This prayer also shifts our understanding of control. Control feels safe. But often it is only an illusion. There will always be variables we cannot predict, outcomes we cannot force, timelines we cannot accelerate. Learning to trust in uncertainty is one of the deepest forms of maturity. It is choosing stability even when clarity is incomplete. It is choosing faith over fear. It is choosing calm over panic. True calm is not the absence of difficulty. It is the presence of confidence in the middle of it. And confidence does not mean we know everything. It means we trust enough to continue. Another meaning woven into this prayer is self-compassion. We are often harder on ourselves than anyone else. We replay mistakes. We magnify failures. We measure ourselves by moments instead of growth. But falling does not define us. Struggling does not disqualify us. Doubting does not make us incapable. We are allowed to learn, allowed to grow, allowed to try again. When we stumble, we can rise without shame. When we fail, we can reflect without condemnation. When we doubt, we can rebuild belief. This is not weakness. This is transformation. And finally, this prayer reminds us that we are not alone.
not in confusion, not in waiting, not in growth, not in uncertainty. Even when we cannot see progress, something is moving. Even when we do not feel strong, we are being sustained. Even when answers delay, purpose remains. The invitation of this prayer is simple, yet powerful. Pause. Breathe. Trust. Walk forward without rushing. Rest without quitting. Believe without seeing the full picture. And remember, peace is not something we chase. It is something we choose. In every pause, in every breath, in every quiet moment of trust, we realign our hearts. And when we realign our hearts, we rediscover strength. Not loud strength, not aggressive strength, but steady strength, grounded strength, lasting strength. The kind of strength that carries us through uncertainty. The kind of peace that remains even when life continues to move. And that is the true meaning of this prayer.